What is happening, everybody? Welcome to Tournament of Champions week out there on Maui. And I am back with my 5 PGA DFS Sleepers for the week. And with only 42 golfers in the field here this week, it's not always the easiest thing to do to go out and find a, call it sleeper, if you will. And even when the salaries were printed at first, as you see the kind of the cover boy of this video here, Mackenzie Hughes, I thought he was going to be lower owned, but turns out he's probably going to be projected around 15 to 20%, so somewhere in that range. So maybe not qualifying as a sleeper. Typically in a sleeper format, we'd like to find somebody that is less than 10%, but we're going to change the requirements this week so that we can get in 5 good against the grain guys. And plus, you got to also know that since it's 42 golfers and a no cut, somebody that's under 15% owned this week is definitely considered an against the grain play. So I'll certainly come up with 5 of those. And the first one I want to talk about, that's Patrick Cantlay. He's coming in at $9,800, and it's absolutely no surprise why he's coming in so low owned. It's pretty simple. Xander Schauffele is coming in at $10,000 and is just about half the odds that Patrick Cantlay is to win the tournament, at least in a lot of places that I've been looking. So everybody looks to be spending the extra $200 to go up and get Xander. That means not a lot of people are playing Pat Cantlay. Came in 17th at the Masters and first before that, winning out near his home in Sherwood. So I don't see why people are really apt to play that much more Xander over Cantlay. In fact, long term, I think they're both pretty comparable players, and I really wouldn't want to own a Xander Schauffele at 2 times the ownership and a little bit more expensive. So Patrick Cantlay, my first sleeper of the week. Second sleeper of the week, that's going to go to Collin Morikawa. In fact, he was in my value play, so I'm pretty shocked at this first ownership print. He's projected around 10% ownership at $8,800. Again, he came in 7th here last year. No worries there. He came in 10th in his last start out in Dubai. No worries there. I like everything we've got going on with Collin Morikawa. Again, we went over his strokes gained information in the value video. If you weren't able to check that out, go ahead and check that out now. And of course, if you haven't already liked and subscribed to our videos, make sure you do so. So when these do come live each and every week, you can get a notification. Come check out my, well, in this case, sleepers for the week, my top 5. So, okay, going on in Collin Morikawa, 21st off the tee, 2nd on the approach. We get those type of numbers this week. Certainly got a chance to pay off that $8,800 salary, no doubt about it. Okay, let's move on to Sungjae Im now. He's coming in at 13% owned, $8,200, but it wasn't too long ago where he was competing for the green jacket. Now, granted, DJ ended up running away with it, but still, Sungjae was right there. Now he's coming in a little bit of a depressed ownership, a little bit of a depressed price as well for this 42-man field. You got somebody like Abraham Answer and Cameron Smith, both President's Cup teammates of his, that are both maybe double his ownership. So we like to go to Sungjae Im in a situation like that. 13% owned. Will be his first start out here in Kapalua. And as I mentioned, the recent form, 14th out in the Dubai. A miscut before that, but then the Masters was very good. He gains most of his strokes off the tee, but he's pretty good everywhere. As you can see, 51st on the approach. Around the green, hasn't been great this year, only 97th, but I'm sure that'll get better. And right around the top 50 in putting. Okay, the next guy, as I mentioned, we're going to talk about Mackenzie Hughes here for a second. He's the cover boy of this, but now he's projecting around 15% owned. So maybe not your true sleeper pick. Thought he'd be a little bit more sleeper, but still a guy that has certainly been one of the best putters recently on tour. He ranked 15th last year. Around the green, he ranked 7th, so superb with his short game. He's coming in, not bad form, pretty decent. He had a good stretch in the fall, at least for a couple of rounds there out in Bermuda. He came in 7th and miscut in his last start, but still a top 10 within the last 11 tournament weeks. So certainly, maybe that's a reason why he's not as sleeper-ish as I thought he would be. If you're looking for another sleeper in that range, quickly mention Stuart Sink. He's 6,600. Coming in off of back-to-back miscuts, but before that, he came in 4th, so the form shouldn't be too far away. He's coming in at 8% owned. For my last guy, though, that I want to talk about, this is going to be Andrew Landry. Now, we know that there are a few under 7K guys that are going to be low, very low owned, some maybe 2-3%. And you got to try and take a gamble on one of them. And the one I'm going to try to, other than Robert Streb, who actually ends up being relatively highly owned, is going to be Andrew Landry, 6,300, 6% owned. His one time here, he came in 22nd. That was out of 36 guys, so he beat 14. And this guy can score when he gets going. Off the tee, 65th, 63rd on the approach, around the green and putting. Hasn't been great, but when he starts to go, it definitely follows. So Andrew Landry will be my one gamble and sleeper pick below 6,500 this week. So hopefully you guys are getting a little bit more out of this. A couple of new ideas, if you will, and not very often that we'd see somebody like a Collin Morikawa be in both the value and sleeper section, especially in a situation like this where it's a no-cut event. And also Patrick Cantlay coming in under 15%, coming off a year where he came in 4th last year. Plus, he's coming in off a win in his last couple of months. Love those two plays. So in the summary, Patrick Cantlay, Collin Morikawa up top. Sungjae Im, that's maybe not as much sleeper as we would like, but the lowest owned in that 8K or mid to low 8K range. Followed by Mackenzie Hughes, who's maybe a little bit higher owned, and then Stuart Sink and Andrew Landry. So that will do it here for my top 5 PGA DFS sleepers for the week. And if you're interested on 5 guys that I'm going to be fading or taking the under ownership on, come check that out tomorrow. I'll be back tomorrow morning on Wednesday. Of course, depending on when you're listening to this, could already be live. Make sure you like and subscribe to figure out and to be let known when it does. That was a little bad English. I'm sorry about that. Just get back into the swing of things. So I'll take my green Maui shirt off of the camera now and let you guys go out and continue the research for the Tournament of Champions week. And of course, if it's not Thursday at 1 o'clock yet, come join Ben Raz and I on our true live before lock golf show. One of the first ones we've ever done. We'll take you right up through lock, talk about ownership for a couple of minutes once lock happens. So check us out, and being joined by Alex Baker as well. So what a fun time it's going to be Thursday at 1 o'clock, breaking it all down. So thanks for joining, and we will see you next time, everybody. Cheers.